Hi students, it's Miss Ayala. Today we're going to talk about measurement and we're going to practice some conversions. We're going to go back and forth between liquid, we're going to talk about length. So starting with our conversions, let's say for example, we're going to talk about gallons and quarts and pints and cups. Well, what I want us to do first, and even on your STAR test, right when you're about to start, I want you to draw what you know. So I'm going to draw my G for the gallon. Now inside my gallon, I have 4 quarts. Remember, I write, you write. 4 quarts. And each side of each quart are 2 pints. Inside each pint are 2 cups. If you draw this at the beginning of your STAR test, when you get to those questions about conversions that have to do with liquid, gallons, quarts, pints, cups, if you have this big G, and we're going to call it the big G, if you have your big G somewhere, it's easy for you to do the conversions. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say, for example, it's asking you to do this. What if it says it wants you to figure out if you had 4 cups, that's equal to how many pints? Okay, so let's take a look at what we have. Look at your big G. For 4 cups, all right, let's look. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cups equals how many pints? Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. It equals how many pints? There's 4 cups. Good. Equals 2 pints. And I can see it just by looking right here. If I had 4 cups, cups, it equals 2 pints because there's 2 cups in each pint. So there we go. What if it asked you for, let's say you had 8 cups. If it said 8 cups, how many quarts would that be? Okay, so let's go back. 8 cups, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, if I'm using those 8, how many quarts was that? Good, 2. There are my 2 quarts. 8 cups equals 2 quarts. And I didn't have to do too much conversion. All I had to do was actually look at my big G. So it helps drawing out your big G. Let's practice one more time what it should look like if we draw it out. Okay, if we draw it out, we have, of course, that big G right there, big G. Okay, so inside the big G, you have 4 quarts. Inside your quarts, you have pints. And what go inside those pints? Good. Cups. 2 cups. So just looking at your big G after you make it, we can think of questions just by looking at how many quarts are in a gallon. Good, there's 4. Count the red. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 quarts in a gallon. Okay, how many cups are in a gallon? Right, just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Good. So there are 16 cups in a gallon. So then how many would be in 3 gallons then? How many cups? Good. You would just think 16 times 3 for the gallon. 6 times 3 is 18. 8, regroup that 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So it would be 48 cups would be in 3 gallons. All right, let's look back at your big G. How many pints are in a gallon? Good, you just count the green ones. So how many pints were in a gallon? Good, 8. There are 8 pints in 1 gallon. Okay, So using your big G will definitely help you. So I need you to practice drawing the big G and knowing exactly what's in it. So 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. Move this, make it a little smaller. So 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. And I can see it just by looking at my big G. There's 4 red Q's. Okay, 1 gallon equals how many pints? Just count your greens. Good, 1 gallon equals 8 pints. Okay, 1 gallon equals how many cups? Good, just count your purple C's. How many did we have? Good, 16. So remember, students, just remember that it's good to draw out your big G. Just do it automatically, right? When you start your STAR test, find some empty space and draw out your big G. So you know pints, cups, quarts, how many are inside that gallon, which represents that big G. Okay, let's practice some problems. Okay, students, let's say that this is your problem. You're trying to figure out how many cups are in 4 pints. Now, what I need you to think first is which one's bigger? Are cups bigger than pints, or are pints bigger than cups? Good, the pints are the larger. These are the larger unit of measurement. I write, you write. So the larger unit of measurement is going to have the smaller number. It's just like fractions. It's opposite. So the larger unit of measurement, so this is 4, this number is going to be a bigger number than 4, because since this is 4, I'm going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, which means I'm going to need more of them. I'm going to need more on this side. So the number is going to be greater. The number is going to be greater. So let's think. If you drew your big G, you would know automatically how many cups were in 4 pints. So take a look at your big G and tell me. Excellent. 8. There are 8 cups in 4 pints. Just to prove it again, I'm going to draw it out really quickly. And then I know P. Okay, I'm going to draw, there's 2 in each. And then inside of each of these are 2 C's. Now it's asking for 4 pints, so then all I have to do is focus on these and count my cups, which are the little dots. So if I was going to count my cups, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I've got 8. So it does match. There are 8 cups in each pint. Now remember what Miss Ayala said, that since pints are the larger unit of measurement and cups are smaller, there's going to be more of them, so the number's greater. See how 8 is greater than the 4. So measurement is a little opposite. You have to think to yourself, am I going from a larger unit to a smaller unit? Then I'm going to think that, okay, well then I'm going to need more of the smaller to equal the bigger. Let's try another one. Let's say it's asking us to convert 500 centimeters is equal to how many meters? Okay, what you have to think right away, boys and girls, is you're going to think to yourself, okay, which one is the greater unit of measurement? Are centimeters bigger than meters? No, they're not. Meters are bigger. So remember what we just learned, that if the unit of measurement, meters, is a greater unit than centimeters, that my centimeters should have a larger number. So my meters are going to be a smaller number because it takes more centimeters to make a meter. So knowing what I know, and because I have the reference materials to help me on my STAR test, it tells me right there on the reference chart that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So it just proves what Miss Ayala said to you. I showed you that meters are bigger, so the number is smaller. Centimeters are smaller, so the number is bigger. So if it takes 100 centimeters to make 1 meter, we look here at 500 centimeters, and I have to go to meters. So my number is going to be smaller, and I know that 100 is what I'm going to use to figure it out. So when I have to go from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, my number needs to be smaller, so I'm going to be dividing. And then it tells me what to divide by because it told me what the conversion is. 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So I'm going to do 500 divided by 100. So go ahead and do that, students. Dividing 500 by 100 gives you what answer? That's right, 5. So 500 centimeters equals 5 meters. Because I'm going from a small unit to a big unit, I'm going to divide. And I divided by what the conversion was. So here, 1 meter was 100 centimeters, so I divided 500 by 100, and it gave me 5. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, students, let's say we're going to go from 10 meters to centimeters. Now, again, I want us to put a star by the greater unit of measurement. So here, I know meters are greater than centimeters. So my meters, I'm going to put the star by. Now, remember from my reference materials on my chart, I was able to see that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. Okay, so going back to my problem, I'm going to go from meters to centimeters. So am I going to have a larger number of centimeters or a smaller number of centimeters? Good, I'm going to have a larger number of centimeters because it would take more centimeters to make up a meter because it tells me that right here, that it takes 100 centimeters to make 1 meter. So if I'm going to go from a large unit of measurement to a small unit of measurement, I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply. Now, what am I multiplying by, students? Good, the 100. I'm going to use my conversion, what it tells me, and I'm going to multiply it because I'm going from a big unit to a smaller unit. So then, let's multiply 100 times the 10 meters. What does that give me? Again, if I'm multiplying this out, I'll just do your digit. What is 1 times 1? Good, 1. And then bring back your zeros. There's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cha-cha-cha, comma. 10 meters equals how many centimeters? Good. 1,000 centimeters. And I know that because I multiplied by 100 because I was going from a large unit of measurement to a small unit of measurement, and it takes more centimeters to make a meter. So I multiplied by 100. Let's try one more. Okay, students, let's say we need to figure out how many grams are in 6,000 kilograms. Now, before you even start, I need you to put the star. Which unit of measurement is bigger? Is it the kilograms or the grams? Good. The kilograms. The kilograms are bigger than grams. So, looking at my reference materials for my STAR test, you know, they always give me that. I have that measurement chart. I can see that 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. So, if I'm going from a larger unit of measurement to a smaller unit of measurement, do I divide or do I multiply? Good, you multiply. Absolutely, you will multiply because it's going to take more grams to equal kilograms. So the number for grams must be larger. So let's think to ourselves, what am I going to multiply by? Excellent, I'm going to multiply by the 1,000 because that is my conversion. So go ahead and multiply it out. Multiply your kilograms by the 1,000 to get your grams. What do you come up with? So here I would look at my 6,000 times 1,000. And again, remember, because of the rule of 0, because 0 is an awesome number, I'm just going to multiply out my digits. What is 1 times 6? Good. 6, and then add in how many zeros? Good. 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cha-cha-cha, comma, cha-cha-cha, comma. Wow. It would equal 6 million grams. So 6,000 kilograms equals 6 million grams. Wow. Let's try another one. What if for this problem we were actually going to go 6,000 grams equals how many kilograms? So again, looking between our grams and kilograms, which is the greater unit of measurement? Are grams bigger than kilograms or kilograms bigger than grams? Good, the kilograms are bigger, so I'm going to put my star right over there. Now, again, looking at my reference materials, I know right away that there are 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Okay, so grams, I have 6,000. I'm going to go from a smaller to a bigger. If I go from smaller to a bigger, am I multiplying or am I dividing? Good, you're going to be dividing because it takes less to have a bigger number. Because if the kilograms are my unit of measurement, it would be less. I wouldn't need a big number like 6,000. Kilograms are bigger, so the number will be smaller. So I'm going to divide. If I go from small to a big unit, I'm dividing. So what would I divide by? Good, by the 1,000. It tells me divide by 1,000. So let's do that. Let's 6,000 divided by 1,000. What would that give me? Excellent. I would just think to myself, how many times can 1,000 go into 6,000? 6 times. So 6,000 grams equals 6 kilograms. Good job. Let's try just one more. Our next problem is going to be 4 meters equals blank centimeters. Now remember, before you even start, you have to think to yourself, which one's bigger? Are meters bigger than centimeters? Or are centimeters bigger than meters? Good. Meters are bigger, so put your star next to the bigger unit of measurement. So if it's bigger, if I'm going to go from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, am I going to have a smaller number of centimeters or a larger number of centimeters? Good, good. I'm telling you, it's opposite. You're just going to have to get used to that. You have to think to yourself, if you're going from a meter to a centimeter, you're going to need more centimeters to equal a meter. You're going to need more of them. And to prove it, if I look at my star reference materials, and luckily it's on there too, you have to rely on your reference materials. It shows me that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So if it told me that 4 meters, I'm looking for 4 meters, and 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, am I going to be multiplying or dividing to find the centimeters? Good, I'm going to be multiplying, and I know I'm multiplying because I'm going from a big unit to a small unit, which means I need more of them. So if I need more of them, I have to multiply. What am I multiplying by? Good, by the 100, because it tells me that it's 100 centimeters. So multiply by the 100. So 100 times the 4, again, digits only, 4 times 1 is 4, 2 zeros bring them back. 4 meters equals 400 centimeters. Good job. Okay, guys, thinking about how to do conversions, the first thing Miss Ayala wants you to do, the first thing, remember this whole time, I write, you write. The first thing is I need you to put the star by the bigger unit of measurement. So when you put the star, you know right away whether or not you're going to go from the big unit to the small unit, depending on which one is missing. So in our last example, we had the 4 meters equal our centimeters. And I knew that I could put the star next to the 4 meters because that one's bigger. And knowing that that one was bigger, I just took a look and thought, okay, from meters to centimeters, I'm going to need more of them. So then next to centimeters, I can put more. There's going to be more of them. So the number has to be bigger. If there's going to be more, because it takes more centimeters to make a meter, if I need more, then I knew right away I was going to be multiplying. Now, if I was going from a small unit to a big unit of measurement, so if I was going the opposite way and I was trying to figure out 400 centimeters, how many are in a meter? Well, if I'm going from a small unit to a big unit, I know that I need less of those. I would need less meters because meters are a bigger unit. So if I needed less, then I knew I would be dividing by 100. And I know what number to use because I check my conversion chart. The reference materials on my star tell me exactly what the conversion is. So if I go from centimeters to meters, I'm going to be dividing by 100. But if I went the opposite way and I was trying to find out how many meters were, or how many centimeters were in meters, I would go from a big to a small. So that means I would be multiplying by the 100. Okay, students, so just remember, first thing you want to do is you want to star the biggest unit. So you know exactly which way you're going. Are you going from big to small? If you're going from big to small, you're going to multiply. Not by 100, depending on what your conversion is. Your number is going to change, but you know that for sure you're going to be multiplying. If you go from a big unit to a smaller unit. If you go from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, then you're going to be dividing. Because it takes less of the big units to equal the smaller one. So, okay guys, now it's your turn to do a couple of conversions. You're going to work with your teachers and you're going to practice, practice, practice. I know you can do this, so it's your turn. Go have some math fun.